I am hoping that we're gonna get to see, you know, the solid Aghanim Scepter TA. I always love the Aghanim Scepter TA. It's not gonna get picked up, but it's still fun.
Isn't it? We had an Scepter TA earlier today, man.
Oh, really? Oh my
We
god!
did.
Why do I never get? I did in general never get the CTA.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, smoke on smoke. They're walking right next to each other. DNM. Smoke gets broken. Ah! Run away! Ice Shard's blocked. No! Help me! And yep, that is a very sad Tidehunter. It's almost a very sad Tidehunter, giving the kill to Oklahoma, making sure that he can get his bottle quickly, and well, he's only 113 gold away from it.
That feels good. He can empty his entire mana pool out, get that first wave down, get the bottle in. Immediately pressure the top co-op under the tower. He's got a great start.
Nice move, nice catch. Ice Shard's block, of course, has to be leveled to get that kill, which is not necessarily the spell that you tend to want immediately at the start of the game, but you're laning with the Timber Saw, not necessarily known for the right-clicking that much. Bounty Rune getting yoinked by Pingu. We'll just go for the walk back towards the lane. So that's 3 Bounty Runes being picked up by the cut. So they did lose first blood, but they make up for it with a couple of Bounty Runes. Not the end in the world.
Indeed, it isn't. And the Bane lingering on the mid lane to place down that side camp ward just to make sure that the Storm Spirit is going to fall behind it against the Quap when she can take that side camp and he cannot.
And also making sure that the Ancient Camp is not able to get stacked to give PA those big juicy stacks once he gets his, if he's gonna go for it, Battle Fury. I assume he's gonna go for another Battle Fury game this time around.
Very unlikely to be any different. And yeah, Ziz already pulled the wave top, but does get met up by Pingu.
Dropping low, both of them. Murdoch just gets a straight up kill. And Giant's not going to chase for Murdoch, surprisingly enough. He does have 9 magic stick charges and a fairy fire, so it is kind of risky to walk out. Plus they have a sentry ward nearby. But yeah, the Tidehunter just dying, his second death of the game already. While in the meantime, top lane, Pingu drop in low, chased down by the Tusk. Does have that slow going in on towards the Bane.
Got him.
But it's, well, speed coming in with the Timber Chains to get the kill secured.
Great start to the laning stage for E-Boys here. They've got several heroes who really need a good start, and so far all of them are getting him, whilst this Tidehunter is just on the struggle bus.
Definitely not where you want to be as a Tide, scared of a PA in the laning stage.
That's really not supposed to happen.
No, it's those first couple of levels where you need to get those Kraken shell stacks. It's pretty much on the other side, you know, the Timber Saw, that's kind of the moment where he's normally the weakest as well, but it's a different story when he's being guarded by a Tuskaroo. You know which? Top lane. They're trying to damage each other a decent amount.
And this Tusk cannot win the straight up trades versus a Bane. All he has to do is keep him busy while not allowing him to get too much harassing. And I'll let these two cores sort it out themselves because they'd be happy to trade farm.
There's a very low Storm. We'll be able to get his bottle refilled. Of course, top lane, Nightmare. Finger trying to pump out some damage, making sure that the entire tag team gets wasted.
Ziz is
just,
fine with that,
well,
though.
pretty much what you
Block the
expect between a 4 and a 5.
Yeah. It's a slap fight.
Good to be this good.
Exactly, PPD.
Only I was as good as PPD.
That would be magnificent. So unfortunately, that will never be the case. So Murdoch jumping in with the Ink Spell onto Giant. The Weaver does not have a time lapse. 2 seconds. Does he get away? Yes, he does. They might just turn it around onto the PA, who's dropping very low. He does have a little bit to stay alive, but no way, Jose. PA dies. Murdoch death. That's pretty problematic. The stroke does not connect onto Giant. That would have been a trade kill, unfortunately.
Yep, and this is much more how I would have expected this lane to go, with the Tide being simply too tanky to take down, especially with the Anchor Smash. And the PA
the Weaver can
struggling
bait it
to
out.
keep up.
Mid matchup, the Quap is bullying Oklahoma all the way back. You can really see it in the last hits as well. I mean, the big problem for the Storm is that he can't take those small creeps on the side, which is normally so easy to farm for Storm Spirit.
Yeah, and definitely Kit's here as well, pressuring him mercilessly. This is a Storm who got his bottle first. He's now limping all the way home. Really getting out traded hard. Harder than I expected.
Pretty solid work from Kits, of course. The problem with Storm is pretty much, you know, unless they make a mistake, matchups are not superb. Against the other spirits, you can definitely win. You just don't have that attack range or mobility until you get yourselves at level 6.
Yep, and
Speaking of which, bottom
invested
lane,
heavily into the dagger. Oh,
the Ink Swell stun coming out. DNM dropping low. The Tide's going to get taken down. Giant finds a trade kill, but a great TP from Ziz to make sure that they get something out of that bottom lane. Actually, Giant is going to get caught. Jump in on top. Murdoch, can he get the kill? 1 second. Shikuchi underneath the sentry needs to be very careful. But Shikuchi's back and should be able to disengage. Well, in the meantime, Oklahoma dies to Kits, and that is just huge. Sonic Wave was expended for that kill. It seems Bingu spotted him out, got a nightmare going. And pretty solid work for the cut in this early stage.
yep, their Tide Hunter is recovering. Their Queen of Pain with that Shadow Strike has dominated the Storm Spirit to the point that he actually dies to her, well, not quite solo, but it could have happened. Of course, DNM needs to die as soon as I praise him, huh?
Yeah, that's death number 4. The 5 kills that E-Boys have, 4 of them were on a Tide Hunter. You don't get to see those kind of stats too often.
Right, he's still not as deep into the garbage bin as Oklahoma is right now.
Yeah, at least he's, you know, still tied and he can
here.
get some farm. Oh no, Oklahoma doesn't have his level 6 yet. Pop even has himself a haste rune, so he's not going to get caught by anything. Level 7, and yeah, that mid lane is completely destroyed. From first blood secured by your team to absolutely getting nothing done. Even the tower taking a heap of damage from the siege creep as well.
The only benefit for E-Boys here is that Kits invested heavily into the Shadow Strike here. So he won't farm as fast as he usually does.
Well done. No blink available for the Quap. Dropping low, in comes Oklahoma. He really wants to get that kill. Quap has the blink. Gets on towards the high ground. Just going to get chased by the Tusk. The Ice Shard's block will be able to secure the kill. A lot of experience, at least for the Tusk. Problem is, Storm's still not level 6.
Let's look on the bright side here, okay? That's a Tusk who's going to hit level 6 probably before 9 minutes. Can start making those rotations, making space for that Storm to recover, alright?
Oh yeah, that is one of the big pluses. Speed also in the top lane. Even though Scourge McDuck is something, he can't really deal with the TA that easily thanks to the refraction charges. I mean, right now with the Chakram, it's a little bit easier. But they are just farming next to each other. No real attempts on each other's life. Kimber saw too much armor to really take down. Bottom lane though, Albino Zebra dropping low. Sonic Wave pushes Murdoch back. Gets again, no blink available. Is going to get surrounded. The Tusk trying to get the kill, but the Ravage does want to make sure that Kits does not get caught out. And a triple kill with what will likely be the tower as well added in the cut. Early game rotations are pretty solid.
Yep, and if you don't have the burst damage, the extra regen that the Quap gets from that Shadow Strike actually really works out in her favor. Makes her deceptively tanky in these ganks.
Looking pretty okay, Murdoch. Going for the Battle Fury. It's going to be not the fastest Battle Fury. I mean, he is starting to struggle in the lane, even though they did kill the Tide plenty of times. And top's just a little bit of a tickle fight. So, Inkswell onto the Weaver. Scooches to the side. They're actually going to go on to DNM again. Aisha's blocks available. Snowball as well. DNM dropping low. Jump in from Murdoch. They find the Tide. They get the Tide. But the rest of Team Cut are running in. And Murdoch is the one that they want to secure, which they should be able to easily pick up. You get the Tide. We take everything.
Murdoch really has to retreat from this bottom lane now. This has become a disaster. He barely has any pieces of his Battle Fury yet, but it is jungle time. Otherwise the Quap knows where he lives.
Oh no. Immediate Fiend Script coming out from Pingu. And an immediate kill picked up again by the Cut. And I mean, DNM's died 5 times, Kips, and he's 4th in net worth. That is insane how much farm he gets while just constantly dying.
Oklahoma not managing the same.
He's just dying without the farm, which is definitely a lot worse off. And they... Look at that. Just replacing another sentry. Actually, is that sentry in? I think that one's out. Yeah, that one is out. That's weird. That missed the sentry placement. Towards the Ancients.
Guess it happens.
Well, mistakes have been made.
Oh, is it? That's hard to see. I think it's out, yes.
It's like on the edge, but you never know. You know, Valve has weird turn angles. Right.
Out.
Yeah, it's definitely out.
I feel like just a parent watching a kid's baseball game knows out, right?
No, quickly get the far. The worst, greatest thing ever created for football.
Speen shows up to mid, but he's late. Tower has already been taken down, and now?
They do have a Ravage available. Fiend's Grip in 20 seconds. They're trying to get aggressive. Double damage still on the co-op. I mean, their ultis are pretty much ready, and they're disengaging on the side of E-Boys. I mean, the PA, he's still building up that Battle Fury, and once he's got that Battle Fury, he still can't do anything for the foreseeable future.
Yep. We're looking for at least a 2-item timing for the PA, but usually she's a 3-item hero. This is why she's so hard to play right now, and she needs so much farm in order to get active. She's a monster when she's got it.
PA though, in trade, that could be a big kill. Trying to stay alive, not going to be the case. And off laner for the safe laner. Definitely worthwhile to get rid of the TA at the very least. Oh no, the bugs. Albino gets spotted out. Ravage gets blown. Albino is dead, and Murdoch, the PA. Why can't they just stay away?
And at least it's not Oklahoma getting murdered anymore.
But it's not like Oklahoma's finding any farm in the meantime. I mean, the Weaver's catching up. Even the Bane. A Bane. Again, a Bane. Hero with absolutely zero farm potential.
Poor guy. Can't catch a break. We were talking about the Orchid contest. The Quap has had her one for a while. Going to upgrade the boots now. Storm is halfway?
Ish. I mean,
charitably.
Yeah. It's not great. Let's keep it at that. I mean, Weaver's done with a full Spirit Vessel. So Timbersaw's healing is like on. He has no way of getting rid of it because he didn't go for Yules.
He did not. He's gonna go SNK. I mean, if you can get an SNK in this patch, you're going to get an SK. It's definitely the better scaling option here for sure.
And you scale in this game because the cut, it won't take too long. Probably once the TA has the BKB, they might just decide to start pushing out all the lanes. But honestly, with the Dragon Lance almost being done, they can finish up Roshan quickly with that minus armor, because that's also one added function that they have in their draft. Incredible Roshan capabilities. And as you mentioned previously, the Tide is going for that Aghanim Scepter for the extra AoE gush armor reduction.
Radiant are scanning.
Yep, everybody's going to die, and with the amount of damage that the cut has to offer, I don't think E-Boys can really kill anybody
Scourge with Duck.
in that duration.
He's gonna get caught out bottom lane again. Caught out of position.
Kill goes to Oklahoma. That's fantastic for him.
Middle tower is under attack.
So can they get anything out of it is the question. Maybe try and push that tier 1 tower towards the mid. I mean, the problem is you're up against two very strong ultis in the early game.
Exactly.
Murdoch, well, a core for a core. This is a nice even trade. Or so you'd hope. Actually dies because of the Orchid burst damage at the end. Yep, a safe laner for a safe laner. Not the trade that you want currently. Because the PA is done with the Battle Fury. But now you should start the farm.
Yep, this is really where she should be starting to catch up, but instead it has been cut short. And they're prepping for Roche here, over here on the cut. I'm not actually sure E-Boys can do anything against it. They're looking for a pick-off, not a 5v5 fight. They just get ravaged.
I might be able to get the steal going on the Storm, but you need to be on point. Even the Tusk could get a good steal going in, because they do have ways of constantly getting vision in towards the pit. They're dropping. Weaver's going to scout him out at the back line. Probably going to just blow the Ravage to make sure that they can grab it. Zip in, zip out. Oh, they're all next to each other. So scary. Snowball comes in. Ravage gets one. Both of them getting stunned. Roshan dies. Oklahoma steals the Aegis. At the very least, they managed to get that done. Can he at least zip back to safety? In comes the PA, who's trying to pump out the damage. Storm zips to the side. The bug's on top of him, and Oklahoma will be able to disengage from the fight. Speed towards the pit needs a way out, but one tree is not going to keep you alive. Speed. Chase with the Inkswell Scourge with Duck does get stunned up. Takes a lot of damage. Snowball damage coming in. TA, no, the refraction charge is just in the nick of time, and TA is going to survive.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
That was way too close for comfort. I mean, it's still a gold win in the end for the cut, but they really would have wanted that Aegis in order to actually pressure towers and then high ground with, and instead it disappears into Oklahoma's pockets.
Finally gets something worthwhile in this game, though the gap between him and the Weaver has actually dwindled in the time being, and it's still not necessarily done with the Orchid. So it should not take too long anymore.
A classic 18-minute Orchid.
Is under attack.
Yep. It happens, you know, you just have a very bad game every once in a while. That is exactly this one.
Exactly this one indeed. At least as long as this Ravage is gone, the E-Boys get a little bit of peace of mind. No pressure, no Tide walking at them. Just Murdoch linking up into the middle of the mid lane and losing half of his HP. No biggie. Dude.
Murdoch.
And he is going for a Manta style right now.
Dire's
I
bottom
guess
tower
it's
is
the
under attack.
Orchid?
better option versus the minus armor.
Yeah, that as well. Orchid, everything. Like, it's fairly annoying, though BKB is a necessity, but if you get a BKB, Bane will just grip you every single time he sees you.
Yeah, normally I'd say that's fine. There's 3 cores here that normally necessitate the grip him every time you see him requirement, so... But the Storm is a non-factor right now.
Dire's
He's gonna
top
ignore
tower
him.
is under attack.
He does have that Orchid done, so that is at least one plus. I'm looking for Murdoch, but he will be able to run away. It's Ninvis Bane, and he just walks all the way back towards his base because he knows that that's a very scary position to be in. Well, E-Boy on the high ground,
Under attack.
they are being, well, their opponents know that they're there because of a very clever place observer ward. In comes the Zip, trying to get the catch onto the Weaver. Sonic Wave blows up Oklahoma. He's immediately dead. The rest on the run. The supports, can they disengage? That's the big question. Very unlikely. Ziz will be able to get the TP. Yes, he will. And the tree's actually albino Zebra. No, so close. Even bot. The
Dire's middle tower
I'm
is under
actually
attack.
stumped on the word of the item. Regen item. Fairy Fire in the end to try and heal up in towards his fountain, but it was not enough. I actually like the fact that he TP'd in, bought a Fairy Fire, and the moment that he'd enter the fountain, he'd immediately pop the Fairy Fire to try and stay alive.
It was a cool idea, but unfortunately never got there.
Yeah, it means nothing if you die, so before the TP even goes off.
DNM's got that Axe now, already showed it off in the top fight. This is where he really starts to hurt. And yeah, the Scourge McDuck is so ready. He's got Deso BKB. He's like, this is where we go high ground, right? Well, no ages. And it means you've got to find a couple good pickoffs in order to put pressure at all.
Well, Quap almost has the BKB done as well. Speed. In a little bit of a pickle. Actually turning it around, but it is a hasted Quap, so it's very fast. And Speed himself, well, he's just standing AFK knowing, I'm dead. I can't do anything anymore. Storm tried to help him out, but in a very awkward position. And they still don't seem to know that there is an observer ward in that area. Though bottom lane, Scourge McDuck needs to be careful. Has died in that position multiple times, of course, this time with the BKB. Should be a lot more survivable.
Yep. And DNM is here now. They can't do anything to him anymore. Nobody can do anything to DNM right now.
Compared to the early game, he's having a lot more fun. Snowball to the side. The Tusk gets TP back to base. Dropping low. Yes, we'll be able to survive.
Radiant's bottom
Doing well with his shard. I mean, the problem is that it doesn't actually heal you as long as it doesn't deal any damage, so a nice thought, but...
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Well, if it
attack.
pops, at least it dispels. But at that point, it was already pretty much gone.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I'm so happy that they got, you know, when they put the ink swell toward the 4-second duration,
Dire's turret has been
Grimsoak felt like a non-hero.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
We are back
Happy
in
they put it
3-second
back.
business, baby.
A lot better on that hero, otherwise just like, especially in the laning stage, you have to hug the enemy the entire time. Oh, Oklahoma gets silenced up and is 100% dead. Looking for more. Murdoch going for the immediate TP, has his Manta style finished up, but they find the Nightmare onto the Timber Saw. Fiend's Grip is available as well. That should be speed. Not even needing that Fiend's Grip, the Timber Saw will follow suit. I mean, they really just need that PA to crit 15 times in a row.
We do. At least she has the attack speed right now. That's one thing the Manta Cell buildup is certainly good for, but... Oh no, Murdoch.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Well, he gets rid of the armor reduction at the very least, but there is the Quap. They're going to look for more? No, they're not going to risk diving a bit too deep, getting caught off guard.
There's just absolutely no place for her to farm anywhere right now. Because yeah, that TA has taken over her triangle.
And is going for the MKB. That is, what, 3 shots on the PA at that point and she's dead?
Very possible actually, which is normally the Phantom Assassin treatment, but not this time around. They have the blink save from the Tusk now, though. Ziz managed to scrape that one together. You really got a feel for speed in this game as well. Like, he's died several times on these side lanes now, but that's because he's the only one who can push these side lanes and maybe survive. He has to. Murdoch still needs more farm. We're not even talking about Oklahoma here. The Timraj has been putting himself in harm's way time and time again in order to maybe buy that space, and it means that his game is all but over right now.
Speed had such a solid early game, but at one point, as you mentioned, had to make a lot of plays solo to create space, and that puts you, sacrificing yourself for the greater good. But the PA is getting some pretty decent farm, though. I mean, BKB is next. Last game as well. Murdoch, early game, questionable. Mid to late game, looked a lot better. The only downside was that they didn't buy back towards that last Roach fight.
And Smoke's coming into the triangle now.
Yeah, right on their heels. Oklahoma does get the vision if the smoke would get popped, but they're actually not going to look any further.
Interesting. They do have the Blink Dagger over on that Tidehunter, so the cut was very ready to find a few heroes there. Set against it.
Well, it will be looking to take out that tier 2 tower. DNM TP's back, but that would mean if you would TP on everyone on E, boys, that there's no Ravage for a possible fight. They're just going to continue slowly pushing Oklahoma still in the trees. Well, this is at least the safest position on the map, and it is towards the Dyer's tier 2 tower bottom.
TA really wants that MKB. PA illusions are giving her some trouble. They're guarding this triangle here in hopes that this Roshan would maybe have respawned by now, but it's going to take another minute, and the cut will just continue playing up in this area to make sure that E-Boys can't get to it.
Second Roshan, free shard, always a nice little addition to be secured. So who would get the shard? Quap?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Weaver's almost done with his Zags as well. Already has 3 pieces available. 600 bucks away. They're going to go in onto DNM. They blow up the Titan. He dies very quickly. I mean, the Timbersaw is always amazing against strength heroes, and a couple of good crits from the PA. DNM vanished.
We could have to abandon their advanced position now.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, PA can take down Roach also pretty quickly. It's not going to be the safest shenanigan. Now, the BKB is also done on the PA. Both teams eyeing out that Roach fight.
And the big man's back.
Storm needs to be on point to interrupt that Bane Fiend Grid immediately.
Absolutely.
BKB gets used. Look at they go. No tide for 5 seconds. They're gonna walk in. Good McDuck though. Does have a lot of damage. Big Sonic Wave comes out. Oklahoma diving on the backline, going for the Weaver, who is a huge kill to secure, but he does die in the process. Speed as well. Everyone dies. The PA, they just get melted. No one really even looked at the TA. He's just pumping out damage like it means nothing.
Poor old Zebra.
Boots in his inventory. Ravage gets blown. Oklahoma, no. This time you can't get the steal going in your favor. That is unfortunate. That is a huge dieback coming in. This is on the run. The Tusk will not be able to disengage, and there were some avenues where it looked pretty nice, but the only ones that they managed to kill were the supports.
Yeah, with the MKB up on the TA, the survivability of the Phantom Assassin was suddenly absolutely nothing.
That BKB, I mean, it's a nice tool, but...
Yep, first is the physical damage, not so much, and they tried with the Inkswell heal there, but it simply was not enough to deal with the massive damage coming out from the Templar Assassin.
And Well, they are going to go for 2 sets of racks.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
Should not be able to get defended. Murdoch lurking about. He's going for the Deso as his next item.
Radiant's bottom
But yeah, it kind of needs... Like, you need someone to tank all the damage so that you can join in the fight slightly a little bit later. But the problem is they sacrifice the only one in the team that can take all that damage. And that's the Timbersaw.
He's rocking SNK and a Lotus Orb. It's decent as far as armor is concerned, but it's not going to get you anywhere in a game with this much minus armor. Between the bugs, between the Tide Gush, and of course the TA, you're gonna be down to 0 anyway.
23k net with lead is a pretty big jump. Always wondering, Gaben, how much chances to give them? He literally gives them 0% chance. Okay.
Well, they're going for the 0% chance smoke right now.
Jumping in, Vayne,
Good start.
quickly taken care of. That's a nice opener. Looking for the Tide next. He has an Aeon disc, but won't be able to disengage afterwards. On the high ground, Oklahoma gets the vision, jumps on towards the Weaver, knows that that's the best target because of the Yag, but actually Oklahoma dies.
One
Jump
by
drop.
one.
Murdoch tries to pump through, but look at Scourge McDuck. Like, oh my god, this TA just does stupid amounts of damage.
had you been to see.
All of the kills delivered right on through to him, and yeah, it looks pretty good until they get to him, and suddenly they're confronted by this BKB TA, who cuts them down one by one. A solid attempt, and you were saying after the previous game that they should have definitely bought back on Evo, should have tried something again. Well, they definitely took that lesson to heart.
Has fallen.
This is them doing everything in their power and getting 3 kills at this much of a deficit in order to stay in this game.
Radiant structures are fortified.
They attempt their utmost, but honestly, the TA walks into that fight at the end, like the last 3 seconds, and in that time does more damage than anyone on her team. Did 4k damage in 5 seconds time. Like, just Psyblades hitting all over the place, and they melt on the side of E-Boys.
It's brutal.
TNM has the Ravage available if necessary. They're looking for these kills. Double damage on the TA as well. That is definitely not what you want to see. Chasing more of the Ravage gets one. They're all on top of each other. Side. They were just gone.
Ouch!
And they continue on. Why not? Might as well hunt for Murdoch as well.
The old runaway BKB.
Radiant's top tower is under
That was painful. It was trying to go probably for a snowball save right there and actually walking in and becoming a victim himself too.
Radiant's tower victor under attack.
Yep. 32k net with lead after a 31-minute game. That's more than 1k net